Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Today we have with us a very, very senior executive, Rajveer Singh. Rajveer works for a company called Riedel Communications, and Riedel is an organization that specializes in making communication equipment. Rajveer is a general manager, and he looks after sales and business development for ASEAN and South Asia. Rajveer, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. It's a pleasure and a joy to have you talk to us.
My pleasure.
Right. Rajveer, you're actually quite a late entry into sales. It's in a different, you've been working in a different industry for many, many years, and sales has been a term that has come very recently. How do you feel about the movement into sales, Raj?
It's actually a good question. I don't actually think of it as sales at all in the first place. I think more of it in the context of positioning and creating a space in the customer's mind um, where um, where you're able to uh, build a space based on your technology, your relationships, and where you're actually coming in to overcome a customer's challenges and pain points. And the process of transaction just follows after that. Some people call it sales, some people call it anything else. But for me, the term in itself holds no significance unless it is preceded and has as a precursor all the activities that I mentioned earlier.
Fantastic. Having said that and having described it in such a dynamic manner, are there any specific competences or behavioral aspects or attitudinal aspects that you think actually help people to succeed in an industry like yours, with products like yours? What would you have to say to that?
One of the big challenges I've seen in the past 5 or 7 years is the industry itself is on the cusp of so much technological change
Hmm.
um, that um, the threshold for a customer to even understand what is happening himself
Sure.
in the environment around him is so difficult. So what becomes important for us as knowledge partners is to be able to embrace that and take it forward to the customer's mind in a sense of conveying that um, while everything around them is changing, so are we. And we're able to then take them on this journey for the next 7 to 10 years on fairly large investments that
Sure.
would be secure and be good for themselves and for their companies as they ride the wave into the future.
Sure. But, and I'm sure that you must be leading teams of people who support you in your endeavors in this territory. Is there anything specific you look for the people, look for in the people when you're recruiting them or training them or developing their talent?
It's an interesting question again, and we were talking about it internally just last week back. Last week, I think the most important thing is situational awareness.
Sure.
No two customers, no two challenges, no two projects are similar. Everything is somewhat unique, and to be able to put yourself in the customer's shoes and for a moment think about what they would be addressing in their minds in that situation, and then wrap your solution offering in that solution schema is very important. So a solution mindset, a situational awareness, the ability to customize um, what you are saying specifically into a context um, becomes very critical in our environment.
Thank you so much. It's such a joy and such a pleasure to get perspective from somebody who's working not only in the way you have packaged sales as a solution partner, as a knowledge partner, as creating space in the customer's mind, but also somebody who's situationally very aware and sensitive to the customer's needs. So thank you so much for your perspective. Is there any one thing that you'd like to leave our viewers with in terms of a sales tip or a sales concept or a sales idea, something that they could take away from you during this conversation?
I would say couple of key things that that are my philosophy. One needs to be opportunistic, but in a sensible manner.
Correct.
Uh, One needs to be somewhat fearless to take risks, and once one takes them, one needs to have the conviction to follow them through, and take a team along with your vision. And don't be afraid to fail. Learn more from your failings than from your victories, and just keep an open mind to possibilities.
Rajveer, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking out time. I know you're just rushing off for another international trip and a foray into new markets. So wish you all the best and thank you so much for your time and your perspective, Rajveer. Truly appreciate it.
My pleasure and good luck.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.